Well, you got the idea. That's Full Throttle by Rick Clark, Rick Van Man. And how you doing? This is a guy from Pittsburgh. Well, I want to talk about the JFK assassination. You know, it's kind of like one of those wheels. You go to the casino, you put down your dollar, and they got pictures of everything ones to hundreds, and you place your bet, and the guy spins the wheel, and whatever comes up, you either win your bet or you lose. And they'll have pictures of ones, fives, tens, 20s, 50s, hundreds. And that's the JFK assassination. The list of suspects is almost endless. Now, George Knapp had a JFK assassination show. So did Norrie. Knapp's was excellent. Norrie's, and I think Surratt may have talked about it too. He's terrible, by the way. But you have the CIA, the Mafia, the KGB, Lyndon Johnson, Castro, Little Green Men. Theories suggest JFK was killed for showing too much interest in alien activity. He wanted to, he asked for CIA files. He wanted to share data with the Russians because he was afraid there'd be an accidental nuclear attack. The Illuminati, Jackie Kennedy, the driver, friendly fire, the Fed because he issued United States notes and put on an executive order. There's a few others. The steel companies, he pissed off the steel companies because he fought them over price increases and he won, they backed down. The coal companies, the unions. And maybe even in a roundabout way, somebody, we don't know who, killed him because he told Marilyn Monroe too much. She had a diary that disappeared, and that's not the only diary we've heard. Dorothy Kilgallen's notes disappeared on the assassination, and she was about to blow the UFO subject wide open when she was murdered. So they had a House Investigations Committee a few years back, and they sealed the records for 29 years. Well, 29 years, I'll be dead. When Lyndon Johnson... God, did I do what I think I did? When Lyndon Johnson originally set the Sworn Commission thing up... No, I'm all right. He put it for 75 years, and that was changed by subsequent laws because the people demanded, they wanted to know who killed our president. And it didn't matter if you're a Republican and a Democrat, an independent, you didn't like Kennedy, but the idea of killing the president of the United States in front of millions of people on live TV, people want to know who did it. Statute of limitations, it's long past. I had a friend who say, well, they do this because the people that are still alive are affected by it. Well, I don't give a damn about the people that are still alive. You can't try them for this, although, from what I understand, murder, there is no statute on murder. You murder someone, they can go after you for life. But I want to know, just like Bill Clinton wanted to know. He said they didn't tell him what they knew on UFOs, and he wants to know. Clinton was left out of the loop. I'm sure George Bush's father, George W. Bush, knows the secrets of UFOs in Roswell. I'm sure George H.W. Bush knows. I'm sure George W. Bush knows. I'm sure Gerald Ford knew. I'm fairly certain they told stuff to Ronald Reagan. Everybody knows except one important thing, the American people. Oh yeah, a couple of other things. I listened to Knapp on his Bob Lazar interview. Excellent. And I'm sorry John Lear's sick. I wish him a full recovery. But the American people that pay for all this shenanigans, that pay for all the secrecy, that pay for the secret organizations, the NSA, the CIA, naval intelligence, you name it. They hide the secrets from us who are paying the taxes, and even people like me who don't pay taxes because we don't make enough to pay taxes. We pay sales taxes. We vote. We should have a say in this. We have a president who claimed he'd have the most open administration ever. And yet he hides his own personal records, his own college records, his immigration records. And his birth ticket was certified by someone who mysteriously died the next day of a heart attack. Now, I sometimes wonder, gee, I wish I had something to show the size of that. I kind of wonder if someone didn't come up with like a one of those cerebral things from the Invaders and just stick it on her to give her a cerebral hemorrhage. Because she mysteriously died the next day after saying, his birth certificate's real. No fakery here. So, there's too many secrets in this country that kept from the people who should know. And Thomas and Jefferson talked about secrecy, and he didn't like secrecy. He didn't like government secrecy. He said it leads to tyranny. So, and also there are those who are claiming that the executive order had nothing to do with abolishing the Fed. Well, JFK in a speech said that he said in a speech on the Fed, and this is not some phony speech that some have claimed, but let's see. Some say it was the Zionist banking interest. They love doing that Zionist crap. Nothing wrong per se with Zionism. Some say that the Fed is controlled by the Rothschilds. And here's a guy in 1930s. Some people think Federal Reserve banks are United States government institutions. They are private monopolies which prey upon the people of these United States for the benefit of themselves and their foreign customers, foreign domestic speculators and swindlers, and rich and predatory moneylenders. The Honorable Louis McFadden, chairman of the House Banking and Currency Committee in the 30s. Well, he brought impeachment charges against the members of the Fed on May 23, 1933. A smear campaign started against him, and he was poisoned 3 years later. That's something that isn't generally known. And the Federal Reserve banks, there's ownership and shares of stock. And you know who owns a lot of those shares of stock? Banks. So, and if you ever wondered, here's pictures of the United States notes that are in circulation that people have in their collections that Kennedy issued. Some say these were never issued. Well, they're full of that crap. And he said in his executive order to issue silver certificates against any silver bullion, silver or standard silver dollars in the Treasury not then held for redemption of outstanding silver certificates. And so he gave permission to the Treasury Secretary to issue these things in lieu of Federal Reserve notes. And he was worried about the price of gold and whether we had enough gold to back our dollar. So I'm sure Kennedy didn't like the Fed. He didn't like the UFO secrecy. He wanted to work with the Russians because he was afraid that if UFO sightings would be construed as an attack on the United States or an attack on Russia and could start a nuclear war. He also wanted to get us out of Vietnam. And his foreign policy, he didn't like what was going on in the Mideast. and the Hawks and the CIA, and he fired one of the CIA directors for leading us in the Bay of Pigs and that match, something he inherited from Eisenhower. Nixon was urging him to go in and send in the Marines during the Bay of Pigs. So there's a lot of reasons behind the scenes why he was killed, but like Bill Clinton said, I want to know, and I want to know, and I'm sure you want to know out there. Tell your legislatures, change the law, release that information, and let the American people know once and for all who killed JFK. All right, this is the guy from Pittsburgh, Free Art Bell, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.